welcome back to Applying Yourself, a law school admissions podcast produced by the admissions office at Washington University School of Law. We have with us today our executive producer, Andrea Garay. My name is Naomi Stewart. I serve as one of the directors in our admissions office. And returning again, we're so happy to have with us Jessica Hudson.
Yay!
Jessica, what do you do with and for the law school?
Hi, I am one of the admissions specialists. Here to answer any questions students might have, hopping in the Discord, doing some AMAs, also doing consultations, interviewing students, all the things.
And you do all of the things, including our topic for today, which is recruiting events.
Yes.
What's a recruiting event?
Recruiting events are normally fairs or forums where schools kind of send out one of their representatives or a few of their representatives for, students to ask questions about the law school, about the program. It's one of my favorite things to do, I must say.
Yes, and you just went to our to the LSAC Atlanta Forum. Is that correct? Yes. How did that go?
So fun meeting all the students, and it was just, I don't know, it was so. It's like getting a warm hug.
Yes.
It's like how I can describe it. But
Yes.
It's so fun. It's so wonderful.
I mean, we do this job because one of our favorite things is meeting prospective applicants and
Yes.
talking with them about this journey that all of you guys are on. So the opportunity to do that in person is just it's awesome. Like we love it. We hope by extension it's hopeful and fun for you too.
Yeah.
But maybe we should talk. We talked a little bit about what some different recruiting events are. Yeah, there's certainly in person. Like tabling events. They can also be online too.
Yeah. So virtual events, there's open houses, discussions. I would just definitely check out, especially here at WashU Law, just check out our events page. And we have one I think it's every Thursday.
Yeah.
At the every first Thursday of the month, I believe. So definitely check those out. Those are wonderful virtual events just to engage with the law school.
Yeah, we have our virtual open house.
Yes, I think that's one of the best options.
Yeah, and we have so many different ones. We have our diverse community events,
Yes.
virtual open house, just a lot of different virtual opportunities to interact. And as we touched on a little bit, the LSAC Law School Admissions Council, their forums that Jessica attended Atlanta. In the past, I've done Los Angeles and San Francisco. I always love going home to California. I'm from California, so I love going home and talking with all the Californians. But we go all over the country: New York, Chicago, Boston, Miami, Los Angeles, San Francisco, DC, and Atlanta. There is also a Law School Admissions Council Forum in Toronto. So, I mean, these are great opportunities to meet with people in person. Also, schools do different sort of complementary or supplementary forums or tabling events around these LSAC forums. And they're not always directly around, but I think you attended and presented at events. You went to Mink.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Mink is wonderful. So it is a culmination of all of the Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas schools.
Yeah.
And so I actually got to host my first panel there where I was basically generated a handful of questions that were, most frequently asked questions, and asked several of the admissions faculty at different schools in the area. Just some simple questions like, what's a personal statement? What to, include in an application? Just all the fun things. And then meeting with students, meeting other schools. It's just it's insightful and it's very fun. Very fun.
They're very, very fun. And the purpose of these recruiting events, it's for the applicant. It's for you. And building a familiarity and having experiences, whether in person or virtual, it can only help with confidence. And don't feel bad if you don't have the time or you can't go to an in-person event or any of that. It's simply an additional avenue to build that familiarity and confidence and maybe learn about things that you hadn't thought of. It's kind of, a big brainstorming and you can have these different experiences because really all law schools, we do, our hope and our goal is that you can go into this next step with confidence.
Yes.
And so, that does bring up questions. People do ask us like, oh, how do I prepare for a recruit event? What do I wear? What should I ask? Do I bring something with me?
Yeah, honestly, I would. Okay, so you don't need like a super fancy suit or
No,
anything.
you don't.
Wear your,
You can wear a suit if you want to.
wear one if you want
That's
to.
what you want to do.
Honestly,
Fine.
wear something that makes you yet again feel confident. That kind of makes you unique, makes you your good outfit.
Yeah.
One of your happy outfits, and then also to prepare. I think it's insightful to kind of bring maybe like a tote bag because you will be getting a lot of
Collecting
information.
materials.
Yes, all
Yeah.
the things. Also, take time to look at on like the LSAC's website and see what schools are going to be at the particular fairs.
Yeah, those forums.
Yeah,
For
look
sure.
at
Yeah.
the forums and look at the schools, and also don't count yourself out. Look at schools that you were like, oh, I didn't even know they were going to be there, or I hadn't thought about that school, and just kind of highlight and make note to go and visit them during one of the forums.
Yeah, and when I know we're talking about a lot about the Law School Admissions Council forums. Those are like the most like broadly like broadcasted opportunities, and so like when you go, there's a little map of like where the different schools are, so you can kind of make a game plan, but you can also just walk around and kind of see what piques your interest and try to get to each of the schools that were on your list, and definitely talk to schools that maybe weren't on your list.
Exactly.
It can, just more information is always a good thing.
I'm also thinking about if you can't make it to an LSAC forum, check to see at your university or a university nearby if they have a pre-law forum. Because I did when I was in Atlanta, I did the University of South Carolina's forum as well as Morehouse College and Spelman forum, and that was great. That was really, really wonderful.
Yes, and
So-
Washington University has a pre-law
Yes.
forum. Yes, and so a lot of universities have these, and schools do come from other law schools do come from all over the country to attend these pre-law forums. Yes, and talk to your pre-law advisor also about, what are some things that you can be doing. They will be very plugged in on all of the different offerings for not only online events but virtual events.
Get on that
and
mailing list.
Yes, get on the mailing list, definitely. And you'll be, you'll have a good chance of learning about all these different events. And then, as far as like bringing anything with you,
A mask. Some of them do have like
some
protocols.
of them are mask required. Yeah.
Masks are required. What also just like a snack as well.
Bring a
Bring a
snack.
snack. And just check out like the general information of where to go, where to park, and then make a list of questions. Always have like a list of questions that you want to ask.
Yeah.
And then also questions possibly that might not be on the law school's website.
Yeah.
That's also really good. Definitely shows that you're interested. You've done some research, but that's okay if you didn't have time to as well. We understand people are busy, but always a list of questions is great.
And then don't feel bad in like so one thing I love about virtual opportunities is sometimes they're like it's like a bigger Zoom room or something like that, and you get to hear other people's questions. You're like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. Like, oh, that's a really great question. Don't feel bad about maybe listening to other people's questions as well at those tabling events. Not like there's no shame in it. Like and sometimes at the tabling events it'll be like a group of people I'm talking to, and they all kind of have a similar question, and so that's a great opportunity also. And you don't need to bring your resume, but you can. That may become like really appropriate to the conversation you're having with a particular school, and you're like, oh, I have a resume here. But if you don't, it's not like expected that you would have your resume at an event. And you can always follow up after. Like, oh, I so enjoyed meeting you in Chicago. The thing you said about environmental law and environmental justice really spoke to my interests, or something I hadn't thought of. You just do follow up. That's the whole reason law schools want to go to these events, is because we want to build that rapport and really relationship throughout the application process.
That's why I say bring a tote bag, because you're going to get the business cards. And also it kind of gives you an insight These are representatives of their schools. So it kind of gives you an insight of, what that school is about, what the community is like, what the demeanor is like, and kind of what the attitude is like. So that's
Yeah.
always insightful. It's always great to, as a student, to see that.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful.
Absolutely. Are there any recruit events that you're looking forward to
Yes.
coming up?
I am. I'm looking forward to the LSAC Boston Forum.
Yes.
Super excited about that one. There's also going to be one in Houston, Texas
Yes.
as well. And we also have one in Los Angeles coming up
Yes.
in November. So all of the forums, all of the things, definitely check out the Experience WashU Law website.
We have a lot of virtual events coming up.
Yes, we have our open house coming up, some pre-law forums coming up. Definitely check out that events calendar, the recruiting calendar.
We have a couple of our diverse community events
yes.
coming up. Those are really, I love those because it's really interesting conversations with faculty or alumni or students about their experience in the law field, in their academia, as a student, whatever it may be. And so those are really, they're super insightful. So
I love that.
I also really love those. We also, LSAC has virtual forums.
Yes.
On Saturdays. I think there's 3 virtual ones, and so it's essentially like the tabling event that you would have it in person, but it's all different Zoom rooms. You're going to like each school's different Zoom room basically, and we meet so many students through those, and it's a great opportunity to really interact and learn a lot about a school. So I'm looking forward to meeting people at those. I think they're like 4 hours long, and I usually end up staying for the whole 4 hours, and then afterwards my voice is like hoarse. I'm like, I don't have a voice.
Yeah,
I was talking for 4 hours straight.
Like 4, 6. The Atlanta was pretty long. Atlanta was a pretty long. It was like 12 to 7.
Yeah.
And then there was like an hour in between, but I just loved it. I was like, gather around. Let me tell you all the things about WashU Law.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it.
Any other tips or tricks? Things that really impressed you in your travels?
Don't be afraid to go up to a school because you feel like you might not meet a median, or you might, you don't know where it is. I think it's all about curiosity and kind of figuring out
Absolutely.
where you want to spend your time, what you might be interested in. A school that you probably were like, oh, I didn't even know they had, environmental law is actually one of the top schools for environmental law. And I really enjoyed meeting this rep, even though I don't meet, I'm not at the median or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's something that interests me. It's a place that I could see myself living in after graduation. So definitely, I think that's something.
Absolutely.
for sure.
And then where school is located too, certainly there's opportunities to if you go to law school there, to live and work in that city. But a lot of law schools are national. So students will go to law school there, but then get a job completely across the country or in a different country.
Yeah.
So where you go to law school, it really is not always, and I would say it can even more commonly not be where you end up having your career.
Exactly.
So thinking really holistically about that. And I know we did have our episode about sort of like putting together priorities and making your list of where to apply, and do have a listen back to that, because there were some great tips and tricks there too, and sort of putting together the priorities for the law school choice. But the virtual events, in-person events, these recruiting events are just another opportunity to familiarize yourself to help build your own confidence with the decision that you're making. And Jessica, thank you so much for your insights.
Also, I have one more thing to say. You always ask about what to bring. A positive attitude and a good smile. Just bring that. That would be wonderful.
Even though we're wearing masks, we can tell.
We can tell. So that's a positive attitude and a good smile.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. This has been wonderful. I can't wait to see who shows up in Boston.
Yeah, you will be at Boston this year, and I
Yeah.
believe Claire O'Brien will be in Houston,
Yes.
and William Lee will be in Los Angeles. And yeah, we're just so excited to meet you guys. So come up and say hi, please
Yeah.
do. Yeah, and let us know what questions you have and how we can help you through your law school journey.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks for listening today.
thank